been burnt doesn't get burnt. So I'm mitigating the emissions from that. Whereas if I put carbon in the soil and it remains in the soil, that carbon can never get converted to CO2. So in a way, I'm sequestering carbon. So the value of a carbon credit from biochar is orders of magnitude higher than it is for a carbon credit from a normal carbon reduction opportunity. So there are buyers in the market, not very many at the moment, but certainly like large IT companies, companies like Microsoft are very interested in buying credits based on carbon sequestration because they can guarantee that once that biochar goes into the soil, there's a much higher likelihood that it will be around for another, at least potentially 100 years. Whereas if they invest in a project, some projects, who's to say what will happen in 10 to 20 years' time? Will that biogas plant even exist? Will it get shut down? Will it just stop producing? So it gives you a long-term surety that that carbon's in the soil and will remain in the soil and therefore can't get converted to CO2. So there are price ranges on a carbon credit today. In the voluntary market, a carbon credit's probably not, you'd be lucky to get more than $1 or $2 right now in the voluntary market because the market is very suppressed. Whereas carbon credits that are based on biochar are being traded anywhere from $100 to $150 a ton. So that's also an intriguing aspect of this, that from a basic farmer agricultural point of view, farmers need to put more carbon back in the soil. If we can put that into FOM or into our branded product, you will get more carbon put in the soil, as well as all the other benefits that they get from using an organic fertilizer anyway. Increasing soil health, better water retention, all those aspects. So the sort of basic product benefit gets enhanced because we've been telling and convinced the government now that, you know, we should consider organic fertilizers from a CBG plant as soil conditioners. Biochar added to those FOM or even liquid FOM just enhances the carbon, but in a way that will not get disintegrated in the soil, will remain there, therefore has a higher carbon credit potential going forward. So those are the two big areas that we're looking at. Can we put it in the digesters to get more biogas yield, and can we equally then get more carbon, labile carbon in our end product, which will provide greater commercial value and better product value for the end customer, the farmer, but also in addition have an opportunity to generate a carbon credit with a much higher value. So that's the work that we're currently engaged in to prove this out.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So I'll move on to back to Mr. Lakshmi Narasimhan if he's now joined again. Lakshmiji, over to you, please. And then we'll go to in the sequence to Mr. Rahul Saxena and Mr. Bhan from Indian Steel Association in that order after Lakshmiji. And then I will announce the next wave. Lakshmiji, you can unmute yourself. Okay, so without much ado, let's go to Mr. Rahul Saxena, please. If you're, I can see your mic is on. Mr. Rahul Saxena?
Yeah, I'm just coming. Something was wrong with this.
No, we can hear you. No problem.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have an organization called Sustainable Options based in Bhopal. And we have a bamboo center there where we do various value-added products out of bamboo. And the entire bamboo process waste is converted to biochar in our gasification unit. So we produce biochar through biomass gasification. And bamboo is largely the feedstock in this. So as most of the points have been discussed regarding carbon credits and production techniques and all, I would focus on bamboo. Bamboo produces one of the best types of biochar for the inherent qualities of bamboo as feedstock. But the issue here is, which is true of other feedstock as well, whether it's coming from crop residues or any other place, is the unstructured nature of the market. If you want to do biochar production on a commercial basis, you need a sustainable supply chain for that biomass feedstock, because you have commitments for large orders. Then you can't mix different feedstocks to produce a given quality of biochar. So in this context, we think that bamboo should be promoted uh, as a feedstock, and for this, large tracts of wasteland or even degraded forest lands that are there could be utilized, and bamboo produced on a scientific basis, the right species, the right SOPs, can get you about 80 to 100 tons per hectare from fourth year, fifth year onwards, which can be utilized for biochar production. And that line would open it up for even industrial users such as steel, because steel production requires a specific kind of biochar with better mechanical properties in it. And the same can go for carbon sequestration, soil amendment, water treatment, everywhere. The issue here is that so much of land is available, but that's largely with the government. And the government needs to put in a policy where investors can come and, without any lease or anything, uh, be allowed to invest in plantation and take the carbon credits. The policy is there in many states, but it's not functional really. And if this can be fine-tuned to uh, protect the interests of the investors as well as the communities, local communities which are around that degraded patch of land, they will gain traction. They'll gain substantial employment opportunities by looking after this, and also be the owners of the biomass from which an investor or an industry can buy an assured quality and assured quantity of biomass required for their biochar production. So that's my point in brief.
Rahul, I'd like to interrupt. You had, last week, I think a week ago, you had called me regarding some, the policy which was to be brought out by the Forest Department. Can you slightly elaborate on that and how IFGE can help you in maybe, pursuing?
In Madhya Pradesh, the policy of allowing private investors is already there in place, but it was to be amended, because initially the policy envisaged that industries can put in some amount of money and take carbon credits from that, but there is no assurance on whether they will be able to buy back the produce which is going to come out of their investment. So the changes, a draft policy was moved in February 2025, and views were sought. But after that, nothing has happened. So it's been almost all this season is gone for this. So if the policy can come out quickly, maybe the next season before the monsoons, uh, people can identify land suitable for them. There'll be a process for allocation of that land for a particular investor. So all this will also take time. So if this policy declaration can be expedited, there'll be enough time to sort of plan and get plantation done on this. There's something like 36 lakh hectares of degraded forest land in Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
Which is as it is uh, uh, a bad thing in the sense that it is adding to the methane generation. Uh, it is detrimental to the entire health of the ecosystem in Madhya Pradesh. So and the funds for meeting the plantation needs are not there with the government. So even the government understands that the private investment is a way out, but the policy is on hold. So if that can be done quickly with whatever modifications, corrections, safeguards, and everything, but at least the policy is out. So and in good time. So before the next season, because the right time to plant is July, August, and it will take anybody at least 6 to 7, 8 months to organize the infrastructure, the uh, planting material, the securities in place, and everything. So
Rahulji, I have one question.
Yeah.
since I've also been doing substantial research on bamboo for biochar, etc.
Yeah.
As we know, there are about 125 different species of bamboo in India.
Correct.
And because you have been using bamboo extensively, so maybe you can give me names of 3, 4, 5 varieties which you think are suitable for biocharing, because species like gigantus, etc., which are very large and very heavy, have a better applications rather than being used for biochar. So which are the ones where you think are commercially viable for biochar?
Balqua is a good species which could be there. Tulda is also one of the bamboos
Tulda
which
and
can be.
Balqua, of course, yes.
Yeah. And when we do biochar from bamboo, I don't mean the whole bamboo pole should be used as such. You can have some process done on this. So large quantity of waste. Bamboo has a particular character that it is not fully utilized for one single product.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So there, you get sustainable quantity of waste. So you're making number of interventions in this. You're making some value-added product. Bamboo plantation itself is a huge carbon sink.
Yes.
So and you're restoring the land. You're reclaiming the soil qualities. And when you follow the right SOPs for bamboo plantation, you're again putting in various inputs, which go a long way.
Even they will qualify for carbon credits, because afforestation and reforestation are covered in the carbon credits, and there are many companies in India who are generating carbon credits from there. And then subsequently, the fourth year bamboo, like you rightly said, gets harvested and gets converted into biochar.
Yeah.
And I have Kevin, just to add here, you mentioned that biochar with 80% plus fixed carbon is a very high quality carbon.
Yeah.
In our trials, we have obtained biochar from bamboo, which has had 86-87% fixed carbon.
Same here.
We found that the wood vinegar that has been obtained as a byproduct is of excellent quality. And if it is refined a little further, it becomes an excellent natural pesticide to replace the synthetic chemical pesticides in the market. So we have a winner on our hands, because if you just get biochar carbon credits, then it's not enough to cover your costs. But the moment you get your revenue from the bio oil, it suddenly enhances your entire profitability and makes the whole project viable.
Very, very true. And another thing is that when you're talking of nature-based solutions, it's not just for a particular new avenue for revenue, but it is also directly impacting on the environment.
Absolutely.
You could plant a lot of bamboo on river banks. It holds the soil, and even abandoned mine areas, which nothing else can grow.
I'm a member of the National Bamboo Mission, and I'm in touch with the key people there, and then I'll connect with you separately on this, and then we'll see how we can support you on the 36 million hectares or lakh hectares of degraded forest land, and see where we can, because there was a time earlier when MP was considered the second largest grower of bamboo after Arunachal Pradesh.
I think it still is.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but what is happening on the ground is very different.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
For example,
harvesting bamboo is an extremely difficult task in the naturally grown jungles.
Yes.
That's also.
Yes, the Riva area, for example, used to be very rich in bamboo at one point in time, but today in
Balaghat, Shedol, all these areas are there.
Yes. So now that those bamboos are gone somewhere. So, but there's an opportunity, like you rightly said.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. So I think we'll move on to now Mr. Bhan from Indian Steel Association, and thereafter I'll call on Dr. Sanjukta from TERI, followed by Mr. Kocher from Consortia, and then from Rashmi Group we have Shri Rajiv Pratap. So the next four are in this alignment. So over to you, Shri Bhanji from.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjay I think it was your mail which prompted me to respond. And I thought I have a very limited point. Basically, this Ministry of Steel had also constituted 14 task forces for various to discuss on the various levers of the decarbonization of the steel industry. And biochar was the task force number 14. It was the last one. And I think it has been observed that biochar will definitely also be one of the reductants in place of coking coal to some extent. But the question is the value chain of the biochar or maybe the raw materials for the biochar is a cause of concern with the industry. And we have been discussing internally how to really make that value chain so that that's useful to the steel industry. I think I'm hearing a lot of things regarding the bamboo can be used. The agriculture waste normally power plants also are using in India. A lot of the demand is there in that. So I will request Sanjay ji to sort of see if we can have a separate meeting with the steel industry and some things can be discussed. And I think Mr. Kevin Hoston, he's from, I think I couldn't really, because I was slightly late 2-3 minutes. So let me understand. Yeah, Kevin. He's from. If he can give me some introduction of. Okay.
Carbon Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
Carbon
So I
Masters
think,
and
yeah. So I think we'll like to have a meeting with him also with the industry players. It can be a virtual. I'll get discuss with the Sanjay also on this when we can have it, and maybe we can find some solutions together so far as the value chain of biochar is biomass, biochar. Lot of synonyms are there. How people are using it. So anyway, we'll let me stick to biochar, how it can be used, and so that the industry can really beneficially use this biochar because it can be used. So far decarbonization is concerned, and some percentages of coking coal can be reduced, and which will again bring the reduction in the carbon emissions. That was my limited point of joining this conversation.
We'll circle back to you, sir, in the steel segment. Get the hard-to-abate sector as well to contribute, and we'll organize through IFGE.
This has to go to the sector like steel. So I think your presence and inputs are quite necessary.
Yeah, that's why I thought I should join and at least share and at least bring this point to your notice, and we can definitely have a meeting with our members of the member companies. And some I am finding Rashmi is, I think Rajiv, you said Rajiv Parthiv Singh is there. He's also from the steel industry only. He is there. So, let me hear all of you.
Thank you, sir. We move on to Dr. Samyukta Subudhi. He's from Terry, and we have a scientific voice amongst us. So over to you, Samyukta ji.
Hi, good afternoon to all. I will speak on the technical part of it. For any process or product to focus on, one is the net energy balance, which is a input product versus output productivity. If we see 1 ton of biomass can produce around 0.25 to 0.35 mass balance biochar, depending on the type of raw material, type of the process. There are 3 processes normally people follow. It is a fast pyrolysis, slow pyrolysis, and this last mode. And then the second part, that is a direct biomass conversion efficacy to biochar. The second one, when we focus on one of the aspects we discuss is the using FOM that we get during the biogas production process. There also, if you see the mass balance 0.2 to 0.4 ton of biochar productivity per ton of FOM. So that means, in a way, the volatile and the other organic fractions are being already not effectively utilized. So, based on the input type of raw material, it can be focused whether this biomass should be directly diverted for biochar. Some hardy biomasses can be considered, but not the value-added biomass like lignocellulose base, which are rich in the organic fractions, 65 to 70% of high-value organic fractions. If you see the productivity, it is better not to divert these organic rich fractions directly to the biochar. Better that these organic fractions be recovered either in the form of high-value biochemicals or the biogas or any product, and the FOM can be diverted. And regarding the usage of the biochar in the during CB biogas production in the plant, like Kevin has mentioned, yes, but there the demand is not very high. because basically the concept is when you focus using this biochar that provides a stability media for the microbes to get at us. So that is hardly 5 to 10%, 5%, 5 to 7% of biochar in the CBG production is fine. So one must think of linking the biochar. Definitely there is a requirement for biochar, but which biomass and which product we should focus on. If it is a hardy biomass like bamboo, if there is a problem in producing the other, recovering the fractions, that can be diverted directly for the biochar through the pyrolysis. But for the high value organic fractions, as a technological point of view and the economical viability point of view, it is better that first recover this high value carbohydrate organic fractions either in the form of biogas or other form of high value biochemicals, then take the residual part to the biochar. That is my suggestion for the technical aspects.
Thank you. Thank you, Deep. We move on to Shri Vikas Kocherji from Consortia, if you are here. Over to you, Kocherji.
Good afternoon, Colonel Dev. First of all, thank you for inviting me, and I would like to compliment IFGE for bringing together such a diverse panel of people. I would not like to go on over all the things that have already been talked about by the previous speakers, and I think every point that has been made is absolutely critical. So I'll keep it very simple. The previous speakers have highlighted the challenges, the opportunities, the benefits, and where all this group can come together. My submission is very simple. If IFGE can bring together smaller groups, and we also focus while we are talking about carrying out scientific research, pilot programs, working with government. If we could focus on bringing together a small group of people who can help to improve adoption of biochar, and also on the feedstock side, start getting aggregated models in place, that would over a long period of time actually deliver the value that is expected or that is perceived to be presented. So I will keep it simple and make that suggestion of bringing together a small group of people who focus on the execution side while research, policy, and other things are moving ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Kocherji. So, Rashmi Group, Rajiv Pratap ji is here, please. You are on next, Rajiv Pratap ji, and then Sampath ji wants to say something, and then we'll see a couple of more speakers before I take it to Dr. R.K. Mehta.
Sir, sorry sir.
Yeah, Rajiv ji,
मैं एक दूसरी मीटिंग में चला गया था.
Please. बोलिए.
हेलो सर.
ये मैं उनको पूछ रहा हूँ
बोलिए
सर को कौन सी के पास है ये वाला एप्लीकेशन आपको पता है
सर? सॉरी मैं किसी एक और मीटिंग में चला गया था.
आपकी आवाज आ रही है राजीव जी, नमस्कार.
बोलिए आप बोलिए प्लीज.
नमस्कार सर. अभी बायोचार में जो 2-3 बड़े जो फेरबदल हुए हैं सर, मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि बायोचार हम लोग यूज करते हैं 2 तरीके से सर. दो बायोचार होता है सर. एक है फर्टिलाइजर यूज, एक है फर्नेस यूज. मैं हिंदी में कंटिन्यू करूंगा सर, सॉरी. तो इसमें मेजर क्या हो रहा है सर कि एज ए फर्टिलाइजर यूज करने के लिए इंडिया में कोई भी बायोचार के ऊपर स्टडी रिपोर्ट नहीं है किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूट के द्वारा, लोकल लैंड वाइज. जैसे कि अगर मेरे पास आज स्टडी रिपोर्ट है तो मेरे पास केवल कलकत्ता के रीजन का है, जो कि मैं मिदनापुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का है, जो कि आईआईटी खड़गपुर से हमने कराया. अगर मुझे एज ए फर्टिलाइजर यूज करना है और उसके ऊपर मैंडेटरी पॉलिसी बनानी है, तब मुझे फर्टिलाइजर मिनिस्ट्री, एग्रीकल्चर मिनिस्ट्री और इन्वायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री तीनों को पिच करके करना होगा. तब सर हमने फर्टिलाइजर मिनिस्ट्री को और इन्वायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री के पास हम लोग गए. हमने उन तीनों को सर एप्लीकेशन दी कि हमने बायोचार के यूटिलाइजेशन के लिए किसको मैंडेटरी किया जाए. तो सर हम तीनों मंत्रालय में घूमते रहे और लास्ट में उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, ये स्टडी रिपोर्ट आप तो एक रीजन का लाए हो, तो हमें आप सारे यूनिवर्सिटीज को इसमें इंक्लूड करो और उनके साथ एक बायोचार स्टडी करवाओ, तब जाकर के हम इन मैंडेटरी की पॉलिसी बना पाएंगे. ये तो आएगा सर एज ए फर्टिलाइजर यूज के लिए. इसके बाद एक है सर एज ए फर्नेस यूज बायोचार के लिए. एज ए फर्नेस यूज में सर जो फर्नेस की रिक्वायरमेंट है, जैसे सिंटर प्लांट की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है या जो स्टील प्लांट जो एज ए फर्नेस यूज कर रहे हैं, उसमें सर एक मेजर हमारे को जो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है वो है सर, दो तरीके का सर पैरोलोसिस सिस्टम है। एक है गैसिफिकेशन और एक है पैरोलोसिस। अगर मैं गैसिफिकेशन से बायोचार बना रहा हूं तो जो उसके बायो प्रोडक्ट है वो बायो प्रोडक्ट मुझे मिल नहीं रहे हैं, जो एक बहुत बेनिफिट वाले बायो प्रोडक्ट है। जैसे उससे एक बायो बायो ऑयल हमको एक मिलता है और एक हमको मिलता है विनेगर। तो बम्बू विनेगर के ऊपर भी कोई सर इंडिया में स्टडी नहीं है और ना ही कोई बायो ऑयल के ऊपर है, जबकि यही बायो ऑयल को इंटरनेशनली डायरेक्ट डीजल में ब्लाइंडिंग किया जा रहा है, जो कि इंडिया में अभी तक किसी ने नहीं किया। हमने ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए थे, हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पैरोचार बोल के कंपनी है, वो जो बायो ऑयल है जो कि पैरोलोसिस से निकल रहा है, वो बायो ऑयल डायरेक्ट 10% ब्लेंड कर रहे हैं अपने मरीन फ्यूल में बिना किसी सेपरेशन के। तो सर इसके ऊपर एक हमें बहुत आगे चल के काम करना होगा सर। जो पैरोलोसिस सर कोई प्लांट ओवर वर्ल्ड में प्रॉपरली चल नहीं रहा है। जो मेरा खुद का जो प्लांट है सर, हमारा 200 मेट्रिक टन पर डे कैपेसिटी का प्लांट है, पैरोलोसिस प्लांट। लेकिन सर टार के चलते मेरा प्लांट हर तीसरे दिन चौक हो रहा है, हम उसको चला नहीं पा रहे। उसके बाद सर हो रहा है जो मेरा फिनिश प्रोडक्ट बन रहा है वो सेल्फ कंबर्सन हो रहा है। मैं कुछ फोटोज वगैरह भी आपको दिखाना चाहूंगा। जो भी सर हमारे पास, जैसे मेरा आज 85 FC का मेरा मटेरियल बन गया बायोचार, जैसे उसको 5 दिन के बाद जैसे वो स्टोरेज में ऑटोमेटिक उसको आग लग रहा है, सेल्फ कंबर्सन हो रहा है। और इसके लिए सर IIT खड़गपुर, IIT गुवाहाटी और यहाँ तक कि सर IIT दिल्ली को भी मैंने ये इसका रिपोर्ट भेजा है। अरे वो उसके लिए सर कोई भी हम लोग नहीं कर पाए। हमने करीब 1 करोड़ रुपया खर्च किया साइलो बनाने के लिए, गैस यानी हमने साइलो बनाए जो कि ऑक्सीजन से अलग रखे चारकोल को, और उसमें हमने नाइट्रोजन स्प्रे करवाया पूरे मटेरियल पे। उसके बाद 1 महीने बाद सेल्फ कंबर्सन हो गया मेरे प्लांट के अंदर बायोचार में। तो सर इन सब चीजों पे ना सर अभी बहुत बेसिक में हम हैं, प्रॉपर इसको सर कर नहीं पा रहे हैं,
ठीक है,
प्रोडक्शन ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं।
राजीव जी, दिस कॉल्स फॉर ग्रेटर इंटरेक्शन।
वीडियो बंद कर
बोला है
दीजिए तो फिर आपका ऑडियो बेटर हो जाएगा। आपका ना थोड़ा नेटवर्क का इशू है।
नहीं सर, ये कंप्लीटेड टू समराइज। तो राजीव जी, आपका जो पॉलिसी एडवोकेसी इश्यूज हैं, जो मंत्रालय से जो बातें करनी है, we'll take it forward through IFGE and also seek your views as well in the future, so that the Rashmi also contribute towards this policy advocacy as well. इसको हम करते हैं आगे बढ़ के। Sampath ji, you wanted to talk about your exclusive some technology on pyrolysis. So just take a little less time and please go ahead and explain what you have.
Take much time. So I just want to inform this group that we are a manufacturer of pyrolysis plants. We give complete turnkey project turnkey plants. We set up from 3 tons per day plant to 200 tons per day plant. We have been doing it for plastic to fuel by pyrolysis. That we have set up one demo plant in Hyderabad. I think that many people have visited our plants and then brought their material and then processed, and then it has been tested and everything seemed to be okay. So we are trying to now go for the bigger size plants. I just want to give one remedy for the previous Rashmi is that, I think if the fire is catching, it means the material is not fully processed. It's not fully combusted. It's fully not turned into the char. That's why the fire is inside and catching fire. So maybe we'll discuss that in separately. But we sitting in Hyderabad, we have been in the pyrolysis from 2008 and we got patent in 2010. And we have been supplying plastic pyrolysis plant, more than 15 plants of capacity up to 20 tons. And we can help the industry. That's quickly want to tell you that.
Thank you so much. I'll move on next to Mr. Siddhant Srivastav is here from Ever Enviro.
Just one little thing.
Would you like to contribute something, Siddhant ji?
Yeah.
Siddhant Srivastav from Ever Enviro. Are you here? I can see you here. Okay. So just circling back to you, Amitabh ji, you were saying something, please.
Yeah. So Rajiv ji was talking about the biochar with 85% FC catching fire, and I just want to reiterate what Mr. Sampath just said. That one of the things that can be done, because I've also had biochar with 85-86% FC, but I've not had those incidences, is that we need to try out different residence time in the pyrolysis reactor. As long as the volatile matter in the biochar comes down to less than 40% or even less than 20%. In my case, I had brought it down to 17-18%. If the volatile matter is brought down to those kind of levels, then that problem of combustion is not likely to happen. Is my input here. Maybe we'll have to look at it with trials, but that is my input.
Right. Thank you, Mitabji. So I have a little bit more time before I go to Shri R.K. Mehtaji, who's the veteran in this field. So anybody would like to say anything or contribute, you're requested to please either raise your hand or just come on straight and take a minute or so. Please. Feel free.
So if I may add, since Mr. Rajiv brought out these issues regarding research not being available on various aspects of the bio oil, etc. And I would like to say I've got some research papers done in India by Indian scientists, scientists from IIT Kanpur, scientists from from University of Tezpur in Assam, and scientists from Udaipur, Rana Pratap Institute of Agriculture and Technology, which are basically on bio oil and biochar. And Rajivji, I have your email ID. I'll share those research papers. The important thing here is that biochar is a very wide word, because biochar essentially, which is made in India, is alkaline and is a pH which is alkaline. Therefore, blending of biochar with different sort of soils is not so simple. It will do very well if the soil is acidic. For example, the soil which is there in Punjab, which is very acidic. There, if you use biochar, it will be excellent, because it will reduce the acidity of the soil and improve the soil, the fertility. Same is the case with many soils in South India. But if you were to use the same biochar in soil in, say, Haryana or in Western UP, it will not have the same effect. What I'm trying to say is that more research requires to be done on biochar and its compatibility with different types of soil in India before it can be, given that you just mix, biochar with FOM or with organic fertilizer and mix it. It will not work. The efficacy will not work unless proper research has been done and formulated.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mitabji. I'll now move on straight to Shri R.K. Mehtaji. He's been waiting patiently and he's the veteran in the subject. So, sir, over to you for your remarks and comments before we draw this to a close.
You need to unmute yourself, Mehtaji.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, good afternoon. I represent something called Progressive Biochar Society. Our mission is to promote consciousness about avoiding the waste burning or decomposition of agri-waste which adds carbon dioxide, but converting with pyrolysis into biochar, which is a permanent carbon, porous carbon, with a life of more than 100 years. And this is the best example of converting waste to wealth. Biochar is a good method. We have been talked about two things which is popular in South India. It's called artisanal biochar. Biochar made with artisanal equipment. That is simpler type of equipment. And the most popular is Kontiki equipment, which is manufactured. And we have many members, about 20-30 members, making it biochar on the artisan manner, converting into biochar added fertilizer and giving to the farmers. And they have been running carbon credit also. So artisanal biochar is an approved method and very low effective. To my mind, that is competing with the industrial methods, but we are promoting that also. But coming to high-tech equipment, there is definitely high-tech equipment has to be made and made available. We have a conference coming on 25th and 26th July at Hyderabad. And the four topic which are of interest, I remember is, number one is manufacturing biochar on high-tech equipment. We have got 4 big speakers coming in, Indian manufacturers by and large. Then we have one speaker, how to convert biochar added fertilizer by adding various inputs, microbes, and other things. So these are very special sessions going on. We have a whole session on carbon credit also, and people are welcome to attend that. We'll have panel discussion on that. And we are very proud to say that we have got a patron from Lieutenant Colonel Manoj Ahuja. He is a patron. He is willing to come and guide on the government policies. The biggest question today, Sanjay, is there is no specification available for biochar, which is a very big issue. IBI is there, but it is not available. We need specifications much more approved by the government authority, because if anything goes to the farmer land, it needs approval from the various departments. So biochar for agriculture is what we are promoting for the present. And that is what very successful. And we are very happy that people are getting 30 to 40% increased productivity. Reduction of water because of the porosity of this carbon, 20 to 30% less water consumption. It's very, very important. We will start IFGE that we will now work on specifications to get specifications done, which are approved by the various government agriculture ministry and state level also. That will be very important, and we are promoting for the time being biochar-based value-added agriculture products with a lot of microbes and other additives into it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And before I hand over back to Sanjay to close this, so let me just iterate. At IFG, we are actually a full spectrum bioenergy association, and we cover all aspects of biofuels, including CBG, SAF, E2G, first generation ethanol, grain to ethanol, and all other brackets of fuel, looking also towards green hydrogen and growth of SAF profile. We are building up two more forums in our association, which is to do with Biochar 1 and Bio-LNG. And then we are taking it ahead for creating a skilling forum, which will be responsible for the entire bioenergy value chain, all pathways. We are holding an event called IBIT, which is also an exposition along with that in September. The dates are 24th to 26th of September. And we have three different tracks. The first track is primarily on the compressed biogas, with three sets of roundtables at the very niche level, ministerial level, and with global players. The second stream is going to deal with bioenergy, to deal specifically with the supply chain of biomass, to deal with densification, to deal with boilers, to deal with skill set development and issues like that, and also look at CCUS and other green derivatives aspects in that particular track. The third track will be more about alternate fuels, including bio-LNG and the roadmap of India, where we are in EBP and where we ought to be to transit from 20% upwards, and flex fuels and various other drives. And this particular event will showcase both global players and domestic players across the value chain, and it's going to be at Yashobhumi. So we also invite a lot of yourselves today who are here to partner with us in whichever forum you think that you are a good fit. Please join us in our endeavor. Typically, IFG comes from the backup of the downstream part and the midstream part, and hugely into policy advocacy, with eyes and ears of the, I should say, probably the entire government of the day today. And we have our chief patron as Nitin Gadkari ji himself, and that is how we are driving this entire endeavor for a energy transition drive. We also have a lot of webinars which we curate for our stakeholders. So if you're from a specific field and you are even leading it as a society or a association yourself, but you want that voice to be coming into policy advocacy in the mainstream, would be happy to help even those endeavors from technology players, from the project developers, from the finance world, from carbon credit, emission world, climate change, energy transition. So you can pick up any part of the value chain which comes from bioenergy. IFG will be happy to collate your voice and make you also the voice as being part of the IFG to go and speak to the right people, the policy advocates, the bureaucracy, and the government of the day. So I think that is where we come together. And today's endeavor is also to, probably from you seek support for creating this biochar forum. So we have a typical context of creating it, and the context is to get every stakeholder into this forum. So we're not only leaving it to project developers and the think tank and academia and research. We're also looking at the other aspects of the value chain to join us. So you should be, our messengers, so to say, to go to the environment and get more people in. And we have heard a lot of views in terms of technology today, the pain points in the industry, and what's happening specifically to a few groups who are trying to endeavor into this segment. We'll be happy to help you. We'll probably in the matter of interest, both in the stakeholders and the policy advocates, try and keep a portion of this biochar element into the bioenergy roundtable, which will probably happen on 25th during that summit. So while we have 3 roundtables at the CBG level, we'll keep one at the bioenergy level as well, and we'll see the scope for one more. And this is besides the ministerial roundtable, which is an all-encompassing with representation globally and domestically in all the pathways of bioenergy, which will happen on the first day of the summit itself. And there is a huge opportunity. For the first time, IFGE is going to create pavilions based on the pathways. So while biofuel is a big subject, so there will be a specific pavilion for, say, CBG, but alternate fuel pavilion or SF pavilion, and similarly for densification of biomass, which is also a thing. So a bioenergy pavilion will have that. It will have biochar. It will have other aspects of the boiler industry. We'll have people joining us from the bio LNG and the marine fuels world as well. So it's a huge proposition coming up in September, and we look forward to not only your support, but your support beyond your own companies to garner more players and stakeholders who can join this endeavor of IFGE as well. So that is a short point, and I thank you on behalf of IFGE to be here today for this initial, just a sort of an icebreaker, because you saw the gamut of people who are here. They're not from specific, value part of this entire thing. We have stakeholders from everywhere, and we will be happy to interact with you personally as well to understand you better. Also, regionally, what the issues are. And when we create this forum, our endeavor in every forum is, as the next step, to go to the regional places and create a sub forum there as well. So any one of you who wants to take any leadership role and join our endeavor, happy to work with you as well. So I think it's been a fruitful small session today of less than an hour. And I would now hand over to Sanjay ji for his closing remarks as the Director General of IFGE. And happy to connect. And meanwhile, I would request Rohit or Anamika to print out the email IDs of the DG, DDG, and the concerned person in IFGE who's looking after the biochar element. So your emails can come down to us through that route as well. And we'll be happy to engage. So thank you for your time. Over to you, Sanjay ji, for the closing remarks, please.
Thank you, Colonel Saab. So it was basically an initial meeting. I think some of the participants already know about what IFGE is doing. In fact, Mr. R.K. Mehta, we have a long association when we started working on the bamboo sector, and we brought some good results also with respect to policy. The Forest Act, which was archaic for Forest Act of 1927, which got amended due to our efforts. So we also take privilege in terms of taking the ethanol sector to this level. So from a blending of say 1% to we have taken it to 20%. The biofuel policy, which was announced in 2018, which was a lot of deliberations with IFGE, which finally was announced. Whether it was Satat Subodhi was here in this meeting. He is the national advisor of IFGE. So IFGE has been contributing a lot towards renewable energy, but particularly bioenergy. And within bioenergy is a vast subject. So on each sector, we have put in our effort to bring it to some, level, some position, so that the industry can be, viable. It can, we can have other benefits which we see as an, a citizen of this country, as a human being on this planet, with respect to environment, climate, and other things. So whatever best we can do to promote this sector and the elements within that sector, we are trying to do it. Even in the CBG sector, there were so many issues we tried our best since last 2 years to work on that and bring that also to some position. Similarly, biomass, they had some issues. Colonel Rohit Dev is the co-chair of also our biomass forum. So it has also come on track. So what I mean to say is there are many other aspects, SAF, carbon credits, carbon utilization, carbon capture and utilization. So there are many other subjects also within bioenergy. We need to biomobility. We are talking about shipping, marine. So many aspects. So biochar is also an important subject within bioenergy, which we feel we should focus on. That is how we planned this meeting and invited you all to join. So I thank you all for joining. So what we will do is we will circulate a format to all those who had joined, and we will take your detailed details, particularly with respect to your business, what kind of interest you have, and what kind of policy support your sector needs, or technology support, or maybe capacity building support, so that the forum works in that direction. So it is just first meeting, it is just in a nascent stage, but we need to build it the way we have other forums, very robust, and all forums of other forums of IFGE are interacting with government and are on their technical and consultative committees. Whether it is biomass, we provide our inputs to MNRE or Ministry of Power or SAMARC. Whether it is CBG, we are on a daily basis, almost on daily basis, in interaction with concerned ministries like MOPNG, MNRE, Govardhan, and give them inputs. And similarly, on ethanol, we work with them, MOPNG or other stakeholders. So each and every sector, we even interact up to the Prime Minister's office level, the Cabinet Secretary. So what our aim is basically to, and it is a platform where there is no vested interest of any particular company associated with this. So it's a neutral, industry-oriented, platform which can pursue these, these issues and take them to a certain level, which can be beneficial to that sector, to the industry, to the users, to the states, to the country, and even for this Mother Earth. So we will, take this forward, and I will also request if somebody wants to volunteer and give more time. It's ultimately the industry which drives. If you can see Aman sitting just behind, Rohit, he runs his own company, but gives a lot of time to biomass forum, and that is how we get the actual inputs from that sector, and we are able to, work on that. So similarly, we have it's a membership-driven forum. So we would like to have your voluntary, activism also in this forum, so that we can, ultimately take this objective further, and and whatever suggestions you have in terms of your industry issues, we would like to take it up. And I also thank Indian Steel Association for joining, because ultimately this sector can become a success if sectors like steel and iron and steel, iron, coal, the power, they come forward. The boiler sector comes forward. So they will also have to be, involved. We need to take them along, and we also need their guidance and inputs. So I think it was quite useful. This interaction was quite useful. So we have noted down, we have recorded this meeting. We will note down and maybe circulate these minutes also among the members who have joined. And as Colonel Rohit Dev mentioned about our September event, we will also try to focus and create a very meaningful session or a subject in that, so that the concerned stakeholders are also invited there, so that we have a meaningful discussion towards developing a very robust policy ecosystem for this sector. And we are also willing to help you on the state level also. As Mr. Saxena mentioned, I will in fact request him to share a draft representation, and what we can send it on behalf of this forum to Government of Madhya Pradesh and see if they can make some changes in their policy. So again, thanking you and wishing you a good day, and we'll keep on meeting and bothering you again. Thank you once again, and
Thank
so
you.
we can close this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.